Shimo, you wanted to add something, but people are just concerned about this, and I know this is an ongoing bill. It will be coming maybe for a robust discussion as well. The issue of a dead hand of bureaucracy when it comes to this creation of a central liquidity fund structure.
Yeah, I think
yes,
that one.
Yeah, this is where they need to just get clarification. And I know when you get intimately familiar with us or read the bill, you'll actually come and just expand on it as well. But a more important issue that I think we should discuss before we also close the show is you can prime us what is happening within the Kenya Kwanza administration right now. I know you're a member of ODM. You're still in Jubilee Party as it stands right now. You know, Jubilee Party is gravitating, as you can see, the optics is towards not really aligning itself with Kenya Kwanza, but the united opposition as it stands right now. I don't know, from your own assessment, where you do stand as it is currently, as a party, where are you? Because we see some segments, the Kenya Kwanza, some SIGNET at United Opposition, a very pivotal meeting that we had in State House just last week, where we'll be having a joint committee to discuss the issue of this pact between UDA and ODM as it stands. But you can tell us from your assessment as well.
I am an elected, let me say I was elected on the Jubilee ticket.
Yes.
But you see, politics is so dynamic. And when it comes to real politics, not perceived politics, you see, we have two categories of politicians in Kenya. We have test tube politicians and real politicians. When you are test tube politicians, you have to hang on the coat of a person. But really politicians move with the thinking, the dynamics, and what their people want. For Jubilee, unfortunately, and you know, Jubilee was a former ruling party, we as members of parliament, we are about 34, I think, other than 2. All the other 32 are supporting the re-election of President William Ruto. But certain groups came together, staged a ballroom coup at the register of political parties and say, look, they are the owners. And we said, okay, you can have the party minus people. And that is exactly, that's exactly what you see right now. So there are two Jubilees. A faction of Jubilee, and where the majority are, support the re-election of President William Ruto. Another group that coalesces around certain individuals thinks they can do things on their own. So I think ultimately, within maybe before the end of this year, I think we'll have proper direction. But for me and many others in Parliament, we have made up our mind. Just like we have said before, we are supporting the re-election.
Wasn't this matter really resolved by the courts? I thought when you had all these
what was resolved was not the position the party was going to. What was resolved was the leadership. And since then, again, individuals decided. You can see that right now there's a lot of confusion. One day they move around with the united opposition. The next day they are on their own. The third day they're this. That confusion is what we say no. We as, and I can say authoritatively, we as the members of parliament, we are 34. Out of the 34, except 32 are supporting the re-election of President William Ruto. One is confused, and I think the other one is somewhere. So I think that is the statistics. As to what will happen later on, you need just to reflect on all the past elections. What happened in 1992? What happened in 1997? What happened? And I keep on saying this. The key denominator is what the communities want. As far as our communities, like where I come from. Where I come from, the people of Northern Kenya have made up their mind. We have a president who has gone out of his way to make sure that the ethnicization of resource allocation is demystified. A president who has made sure every community or region shall have a test of our natural resources. And so, being a representative of a community that has been marginalized over the years, proudly today, some of the things that we have considered as foreign, some of the things that we considered as privileges is now slowly crippling to our regions. Like we're getting tarmac roads. The crisis in the education sector has completely been sorted out by the president. We are seeing tarmac. Some few years back, if you ask a school-going child in Northern Kenya on what a tarmac road was, they used to say a tarmac road is a black substance found in down Kenya. Today, if you ask them, that black substance is all over. So meaning that down Kenya is in our villages, in my constituency and somewhere else. So this is a total transformation. The education crisis that you used to see, every year, TSC used to use our region as a recruitment bureau. They recruit, create an artificial security crisis, and post the teachers to where they wanted. Today, we have surplus teachers, I can tell you.
Right,
simply because of a policy change.
Yeah, but
so I think what the bit I'm trying to emphasize is, since the advent of multipartyism, there has been changes. Look at the trend: 92, 97, 2002, 2007, 2013, 2017, 2022, and even 2027 will be completely different. The issue is the alliances. Post-election,
right, but
pre-election.
But so we need to question the issue of the discipline within the parties, because now ODM you have two factions, Jubilee you have two factions as it stands right now, and I believe also UDA there are factions, people who they do not want to speak out right now, but inside they have made a decision that they want to not really appear to be supporting UDA, right? Because of the optics. Politics is all about optics. So when it comes to party politics as it stands right now, why can't we get these people who you think from your assessment they are dissentful, being whipped?
Yeah, let me say it's a democracy. I'll tell you, as I'm a member of parliament, I have the right to associate, I have the right to work, I have the right to purpose and work with the ones that I think have programs that are tailor-made to benefit the people that I represent. So I think what has happened right now, this is part of our democracy. We do not want to cajole, we do not want to embed on individuals' rights. What we have done as a group, there's a disconnect between certain groups within our Jubilee party and the members of parliament. And we said, let them go with the structure, it's a shell. We will go with the people, and that is the position. So there is no need to discipline anybody, because if somebody proposes to say, I'm the Secretary General, if somebody proposes to say, I'm the leader, and I don't believe in that leader, there's nothing I can do. But you can also, there's nothing that you can also do to me, because I represent people.
But what does the Political Parties Act say when it comes to issues of, what you're talking about, association and deeming as it stands?
Agreed. We have had coalitions. We have coalition agreement, post-coalition, pre-coalition, pre-election and post-election actually agreements. Those agreements have been rubbished. You see, every party attempts to identify itself with a certain honor. And you know it. Jubilee had its honor in court. That honor decides that this is the way I want to do it, simply because of a control mechanism. The best you can do is say, you can go with it. So I think at a certain stage, I'll tell you this, at a certain stage, these things will come to an end, because people must respect the wishes of the public. And that is why many parties, you look at the parties, is there any party that has existed more than 2 elections? Look at the parties since the advent of multipartyism. Kanu is almost, you know where it is. Where is DP? Where is NAC? Where is Jubilee? Where is our friends in ODM are right now struggling to put their house in order? Ultimately, even the formation that you will see will not be the Kenya Kwanza that was there in 2022. This will be a more broader, with many inputs from Jubilee, from ODM, from this. And that's what the idea of even having the broad-based government. And I think that's what the president, because of inclusivity, that is what the president has decided to explain to people, that this country is for all of us. And therefore, the party that you will be seeing immediately after these talks right now will be a party that projects the face of this country. And that is where we need to go.
Right. I honestly feel that, Honorable Kenan is not being very honest.
Why?
Why
when you really want to talk about this, because we needed to probe, truly. And also, this is what is happening within ODM as it stands. If we strictly followed the act, we wouldn't be having these shenanigans that we are actually seeing currently.
No, but we have no shenanigans. You see, the problem is...
Are you sure?
No, which one? You see, you're forgetting that Jubilee, where Honorable Kenan was there from a time of 2017. They were all the same team. I think it's just names we change. But we don't change the ideology and the mindset of the people. That's why it's like that. So we just change it to the name, but the same people. Look at the agenda of the president today. Even if you abuse the president, you call him all the names you're calling him. By the way, he's fulfilling what they had promised when they were with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. That's what the president is fulfilling. Agenda 4, the 4 agendas. Affordable housing, universal, who started? It was Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. He has just felt the same way we finalized what Mwai Kibaki had put on. And all of it, don't forget, is in the Vision 2030. By the way, there's nothing that is outside Vision 2030 that we are doing. They are all there. It's only that we have refused to appreciate. And so, even if we tell him he will finish, in his second term is when he will start his. But the rest, the roads that the president, former president started, is the roads that the president is finalized.
But people are wondering, why is it a providential time that we could see all this mushrooming of development that is happening? Because we're heading towards the general election. It's for the political expediency, and it's all for political optics as it stands.
I think one thing
from the beginning, why wasn't the country really talking about the Singaporean dream, right? Why weren't we talking about
this? Yes. Because there was an attempt. Let me be very frank with you here. There was an attempt. Ruto is the 5th president. We have had President Kenyatta. You know the history. Mzee Kenyatta. We have had President Moi. You know the history. We have had Mzee Kibaki. You know the history. We have had Uhuru Kenyatta, my friend. You know the history. Now we have President William Ruto. I think the issue is politics. People were blinded by the toxic politics that how did it happen? How did he win? Why is he there? He should not do this. That was questioning the mindset of those many Kenyans who voted for President William Ruto. I think the kind of things, and I'll tell you this because I've seen it all, the kind of things the president has done right now, watch this. After the end of his second term, God willing, and he will be re-elected, you will see that so many things have changed. The housing sector, the health sector, the education sector. Right now, people are not sure because, people are very cautious when they see drastic changes that over the years people feared. Like they say, oh, how about if I do this, what will happen? That fear is what is now affecting the people. The fear is being sorted out. People are seeing proper houses, even in the villages. People are seeing improvement in the education sector. People are seeing serious infrastructural development. These things are slowly removing the fear that has been implanted over the years. And I can tell you this, where were we in 1968? Kenya was supposed to have been in the league of some of these highly developed countries. In 1968, our GDP was the same as that of South Korea. Today, the GDP of South Korea is 50 times that of Kenya. What are these missed opportunities? The missed opportunities is because we failed to make decisions. The leadership then failed to make decisions. That's why today, proudly, and one of the critical characteristics of a leader is to make proper decisions at the right time. And that's what President Ruto right now is making. So those decisions must be supported. I know so many quotas who are privileged, are very uncomfortable. Because they are seeing history being rewritten. They are seeing developments to areas that have been neglected. Nyanza, Western Kenya, Northern Kenya, Coast, part of Central. These things once properly put, and I'm glad that the president and other teams are slowly now coming out to explain this to the Kenyan public. I can tell you, Kenya will never be the same. And that is why we need to watch this space. Even those detractors, the naysayers, will be ashamed to say what has happened. I'm sure that they will hide when the elections come or after the re-election of President William Ruto after 2027.